Osido, as we talk with Zuena in a little bit, on page 6 of the Standard today, the IEBC has told us what now?
So they are telling us that IEBC ends registration drive with strong 1.87 million voter turnout. They are calling this strong. So it's 1.876274 as at 24th of April.
Yeah.
I remember Andu has settled that their expectation was shy of 2.5, was basically 2.5 million for this part of the enhanced voter registration process, which begs the question, where are the numbers? Does it mean that as it ends today, so this is April 24th, today is 28th, it's coming to a close.
Yes.
Are we able to fill in the hundreds of thousands that are still out there?
Today?
Does it speak to voter suppression? Is it that IDs are not there? What is happening, Dennis? Or I just shut up.
I think we just have to call it out. IEBC has done nothing to achieve those numbers. We will actually credit even the numbers to the Gen Z Tukokadi campaign. There's little flowers to give to IEBC. They've just not done their job to ensure that the numbers they were targeting have been arrived at. So we're talking about a body who has a mandate of ensuring that many out there, voter registration, voter education has not happened. So like when we look at these numbers, I'm not even talking about IEBC having done anything. They've just registered those which others have done the labor work of ensuring that they get out there to go register. So when you ask about why we've not gotten that, IEBC, you've done nothing to ensure that you get the numbers that you needed.
And they were in Parliament the other day asking for more resources. They said you want more money. And you see these small things, the low-lying fruits, this is where you gain public trust. You begin to also excite Wabunge. When you show up and you say, oh, by the way, we overmet our target, they'll be excited to give you more money.
The question is, what have you done with the little that you have? Because you see, with the little that you have, if you've done extremely well with that, you don't even need to explain yourself. Like you said, just shut up and your results will speak for you.
There's that word again.
It
doesn't seem it's going to be too far away. I've quoted you many times myself. Indeed. But we have to also ask our question. I think we'll be asking that question during this conversation for this hour with Abbie Zuena, because she's here with us. And the question is, so why did we not have more overwhelming numbers coming out to register to vote? Because of the inertia that you take that energy and you channel it towards a process through which you activate that power to make a decision. That's what it does. So why did we not see people coming out in the numbers? No pressure, Abbie, but we'll get into that in just a minute in terms of what exactly it means. So Abbie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're in the hot seat of the Situation Room.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here.
It's my first time. Oh, I'm such a big fan.
Oh, yeah.
First time I was here, I was with him. We were talking about the land amendment bill, you remember?
Yes.
I was coming in my capacity as a real estate consultant.
Yes.
Now I'm coming in my capacity as a politician.
There you go.
Very nice.
And I love the ability to then be able to pivot when it comes to things that you're interested in making your country better.
Yes.
So we've seen your face, of course, all over. And then it lends to the process that the country currently is in.
Yes.
So let's have a conversation this morning. But before we do, as you know, we go around the African continent every week. Dennis will tell you where we are this week.
Okay.
We are in Equatorial Guinea. It's a beautiful country, but they've had a single president for the past 47 years.
Oh.
Yes. Rich in resources, especially oil. One would hope that with the Strait of Hormuz being closed, they would say, Tukona power we have, literally speaking.
You're on a roll.
You are so politically worked, Dennis. I know how to say politics.
Tukona power, but unfortunately, that is not helping them, because it's another African story. Get it outside your country, then buy it at extremely expensive rates, right? So one would hope that the 47-year-old president in that seat would do something about it. See what I did there?
Yes.
But let's go to the proverb. He who listens builds a house. He who talks tears it down. As a real estate consultant,
I'm going to channel my real estate expertise on this. And say that even when we are always just sitting down with clients and trying to understand what their needs are, it's always more, productive when you first listen to the needs of someone based on how because they know what they want in that home. They know, the woman knows what they want in that kitchen, what they want in their bedrooms and so forth. The man knows what he wants in, the sitting area, the man cave area, and so the parking area, because they are very sensitive about those things. So when you listen more, you're able to just come up with a product and a home that accommodates the people that should ideally be living there, instead of doing the vice versa, building a home and then trying to force it down people's throats, like the affordable housing. And that's why they are struggling to sell this product out there, because they just did it and then they're like, come and buy. And so even in leadership as well, and in the political space, listening to people, listening to Kenyans, because they do have the solutions. They do know what this country should be all about, and how governance should be done, and how leadership should be, implemented, vis-a-vis just doing something and saying, we've done this and we've done this and we've done this. If you've done something, you don't need to tell people you've done it. They'll feel it.
Really? It's like a secret.
Kibaya chajiuza, kizuri chajitembeza.
Simple as that. These things are not complicated.
So I say we even wait a bit before you start. Okay.
Yes.
So let's look into Linda Mwananchi and the tours that have been going. So it started off in Kitengela. So Kajiado County saw a little bit of that. And when it caught like wildfire. And then went from there. We've seen other cities, Mombasa, Nakuru, Bungoma, and then most recently Vihiga and Kisumu, arguably some of the largest numbers in terms of turnout that we've seen. But what does this mean? And I asked that question deliberately, that it can be people were coming from different parts of the country to attend these rallies. But let's make a connect directly to what the IEBC is telling us. That they've rounded out this voter registration exercise with 1.8 million. Strong,
very strong, yes.
According to them, so let's just take the numbers and that demographic before we get into the deeper thing of what it could actually be. That we see people coming out. Is it possible that everybody who comes out for those rallies is already a registered voter and they're just trying to, bring the numbers out? Or do we see people attending the rallies are caught up in the hype of the atmosphere at that moment, but are not really taking that and translating it into change?
First and foremost, I want to just give a big shout out to Alan Ademba and what he has done, because he was clearly the face of ensuring young people are coming out to vote. The 1.8 million, who literally a credit to Alan Ademba and his team. And I participated in a few series of Tukokadi to just support and ensure that young people are understanding the importance of this conversation we are having. But as Linda Mwananchi, we have also had conversations about the 8 million voters that didn't wake up to vote in 2022. We are more, keen on that number. And even as we go to our rallies, we are having conversation to politically just make sure they are awakening up and ensuring that they are understanding some of the issues that they are currently going through in terms of, very bad economic status of the country, not having cash flow, circulating into the economy, poor healthcare services, the education system literally on its deathbed and so forth. And so we have always been keen, and this is something our principal, Senator Edwin Sifuna, has been keen on, re-emphasizing to us that we need to understand why these 8 million people did not wake up to vote, and we need to see how we can ensure they wake up to vote in 2027. That would ideally bridge any gap we are trying to fetch out there by getting all these other people to come up and register as voters. Because then it shows... if we are going to mobilize people to take up their voters card, it means we have to again go back and mobilize them to show up to vote. So then what are we going to do as Linda Mwananchi to ensure that somebody doesn't need to be called or mobilized or politically moved to ensure they wake up to vote? And how do we make it a do or die for these people to understand that not waking up to vote is ideally voting in the bad leadership that we currently have and are experiencing? And so for us, even over and above having supported and ensuring that we participated in the conversation of bringing and ensuring young people are understanding they need to take up their voters card, we're also very key on the people that didn't wake up to vote and understanding how we ensure in 2027 we don't have that big margin of people simply just deciding this doesn't bother me and I won't wake up to vote.
So is it a determinant factor then to say that, okay, so we're not seeing and I don't know, we're going to have another go at it in terms of registration for voters?
Yes,
we will.
It's
continuous, right? So there's still an opportunity.
Yes.
Do you think that that's where the drive should be now?
Yes.
That yes, come for the rallies again. In Raila Odinga's bedroom in Kisumu last weekend. I mean, we talk about the sports, right? We're talking about Kibra Langata in Nairobi, but if we're going to look at the country as a whole, it was proven at the coast in Mombasa, and then I mean, resoundingly proven in Western. If we're going to look at Bungoma and Vihiga, and then now look at Kisumu. I mean, come on.
Yes.
Even if you were blind in the dark and under the covers, it will be clear that there's something cooking here.
Yes.
So, is it determinant to say that because of the numbers that you've seen, and it's not people locked in a day of where the emotions are high and people are feeling, but that it is clear that the winds of change are blowing and people have caught on to it. Is it a determinant factor what we saw last weekend?
Yes, it is. Okay. And I want to say this. I feel 1.8 million was quite a good number for 1 month. Over the fact, not being ignorant to the fact that IEBC did not go all out in ensuring that the conversation of voter registration was being had. It took people, independent-minded people that don't have budgets, because we would resource mobilize for Alan in a group. We'll just send whatever few coins we could, even on X, to just ensure he's going to all these centers and he's doing all this content. It was very much social media driven.
So it means that if individuals who are civically aware would not have gotten involved, IEBC would not have gotten to 1.8.
Yes, they wouldn't have, and they need to own up to that. They did not do anything to push for this 1.8 million new voters that we have experienced, and just in 1 month, I think that is a very big number coming from a team that didn't have a budget, a team that is just doing this on social media and so forth. Back to your question, I'm happy that the Linda Mwananchi team did not come and try to take over the Tukokadi initiative by Alan Ademba. They allowed him to thrive and push for his numbers. I think the next stage that we are going to, politicians are going to be very involved, because they also have to go out there and look for these numbers. Yes. And it's also for us as Linda Mwananchi, it's very important that young people understand they need to take up their voters card, and for us to understand how many people have taken up their IDs, how many people then have registered amongst this 1.8 million, and how many are still pending, and how do we get them to take up their voters card, and why, and what reason are we giving them? We are happy that our rally, 80% of the people who attend our rallies are young people. And you can see even in our videos, they are always showing up their cards. We've been intentional to ensure even we are pushing those conversations in our rally. You'll see Babu, we know Edwin Sifuna say, Mukona kadi. Anybody who shows up their kadi, they're like, Kujapa, take something.
A tip.
I know, a tip, just to show you this is the conversations that we are gearing up to. But we couldn't have gone all out in the same space when Alan Ademba was doing this, because we also understand the feeling of hijacking somebody's movement. We are young people being led by young leaders. We understand the frustration of people coming up and taking up your idea and running away with it, and doing it in ways that do not align with the young people's vision, because Alan Ademba has been very clear he did not want politicians to jump onto this.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. And so it would have been very unfair for us to just have, and we could have done it, called him on the table and say, we want to do this, we are going to do this. Other politicians did it, we saw it, we saw how he reacted to it, and so we needed to just let him do his thing. But the next phase of voter registration, everybody's going to be on board, including us as Linda Mwananchi, to ensure where are we getting these numbers. Are our young people who are attending rallies understanding they need to be registered voters, so that we go to the next phase of kuchukua kura. After kuchukua kura ni kupiga kura na kulinda. Kulinda hapo kwanza, hapo ni tutaendelea hiyo maneno. Because even our key message ni kulinda mwananchi. Utalinda aje mwananchi kama una kura, kama utokelezei kupiga kura, na kama hautakaa kwa polling station kuhakikisha kura haijaibiwa. Because those are the other conversations that we will need to have. And if there are people that are going to guard these votes, it's young people. We have the phones, the power banks. We don't sleep. Sino watu tunananga sherehe the whole day, tunaingia sherehe nyingine. So we have to understand how to do a whole polling station sherehe sherehe campaign so that young people don't leave polling stations, and we can demystify these fears of ati ataiba kura wa kitu kama hiyo. Who is stealing where? Which votes are they stealing? They don't have them. We've been moving around the country. We know. We can feel what the ground is saying, and it's purely this government needs to go.
Abbie, if you allow me just to pick up there before Dennis comes in.
Yes.
When you say Linda Kura, and you say the guidelines by IEBC are that you vote,
go home.
And you go home, unless you are accredited to sit there as either an observer, a media, or an agent of a political party, or you have something. So you're basically accredited to be there. And we have seen, for instance, the digital engagement of young people from June 2024 running all the way to what you're talking about now in terms of, exciting this vote and ensuring that that young people are out there. The question that begs from what you have said is, how then do we Linda this vote when we are not expected to be there? But then you look at how IEBC has perennially done its even announcing. So it's done at the tallying happens and then people group somewhere in a constituency office. What are the plans to not flood physically polling, the tallying centers? Because if you have 10,000 youth in a center, surely even the returning officer will be overwhelmed. But are there plans to do it differently, and how can we achieve that?
I'm going to say this. Following the by-elections that we've experienced, the IEBC has not been fair in ensuring that people vote and go back. Actually, we saw polling stations being attacked, even torched, and then funny results were being presented, like the Mbeere North by-election. And so what has the IEBC then proven to Kenya, and especially young people? We are at a space where we cannot guarantee a free, fair, verifiable election.
Transparent
and transparent processes of this election. And if there's one thing that the young people are saying is that in 2027 you cannot mess with this election. It's as emotional as it can get. It goes to the core of our existence. So if we need to physically be there, it is okay, we will be there, because we also know the government, and they have shown us with the by-election what they are willing to do and how far they are willing to go. In our own rallies, we have had to have this rule: one goon, you allocate one goon to 10 Mwananchis. I'm not kidding. That is how we were able to enter Kisumu. In numbers. Wananchi wali overturn, na wali we were so many. Waka overrun goons. So where we had 50 goons, we had 500 of us. Boldly. And our leaders were leading from the front. So wako nyuma, wako mbele. Kama mawe zinatuma ni wao the first recipients. And it's the same thing we will take in 2027 is if the IEBC is not willing to prove to us how they are gonna, carry out this election. We are gonna occupy physically. We are going to vote and stay there with our phones, record everything. Thank God we are in a social media era, and this election will be very much social media oriented. So we will go live, we will record everything, because hakuna venye tutaitikia. And at the end of the day, ukishindwa hapo, na unajua umekuwa kwa siasa, ukishindwa hapo kwa polling station ni hivyo. Court processes are so long. They're so long, and before things can be overturned, it's a whole other fiasco. So what we're not going to do is allow them to have any strategies to mess around with our votes at the polling station level. Now IBC what have to kuti. And since they are back saying we need more money, is that a body that is ready to handle this election? Is it they are going even asking for marketing money? Kama marketing pesa wananyimwa. Ya ku hold election kama hii 2027 watatoa wapi? So kama hawana manpower ya kuensure hii itakuwa free and fair, we will help them, because we have bundles and we have phones and we have numbers. Thank God.
Yes. You see, Abbie, I want to look at this from the perspective of Linda Mwananchi. We're going across the country. We are meeting the young people there, and there's a message that you're passing to Mwananchi there. Ikifika day of election, we're here to ensure that you not only show up to vote, the 8 million who did not show up, that most of you who are also not registered, get out there and register. We vote and protect the election, right? And we also read these at a time when we're just from by-elections, and we've seen the performance of IEBC. From Linda Mwananchi, is IEBC a body that can be trusted to deliver the elections of 2027?
From my own perspective, no. It cannot deliver. I know our principals are planning to have conversation with the IEBC to try and streamline some of our issues and concerns that we have. But from a young person perspective, I do not trust this body to deliver this election. And so it is very important for us as young people to conspire and see how they deliver it by fire, by thunder, and ensure that none of our votes are going to go to waste. None of all this mobilization and civic education we're having with the young people is going to go to waste. This is the last chance this IEBC have to prove to these young people that democracy can prevail. So it's a do or die for us. If we lose this election to a few of their discrepancies and a few of their inefficiencies, we are done. Young people will never mobilize again. And especially after what happened in June 25th. They have been very clear that they want this government to go home. If we cannot prove we can get this government out, and they show up in numbers and vote for their preferred presidential candidate, who, by the way, Linda Mwananchi, we are going to have a presidential candidate.
You say that?
Yes,
now.
we are going to have it.
Okay.
And so we've been saying it, only that,
Okay, so let's ask that question.
Are we seeing an Edwin Sifuna presidency?
Oh, that man must go for presidency.
Really?
I say that boldly.
Does he know that?
Because he knows that. And I think Kisumu reaffirmed that to him. It was very important for him to go and hear it from the people of Baba, who is a father and as a political figure that mentored him. Every stop we were going, people are telling him, who told you? Pointing at him, directly telling him, we see you. It is you, Edwin Sifuna, no one else. Who told you will not have a presidential? There was such organic chants. I was pausing and just looking at it and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And this coming from the, backyard of Baba, a space where, if you were to listen to all these leaders from Luo Nyanza, they were specifically just telling Edwin Sifuna, no, you're not wanted. And there was this intentional push to separate the Luo and the Luo community, but having such a reception for Edwin Sifuna in Kisumu, having such a reception for Babu Owino, a man who had been told you cannot step ground where you were born and raised.
Who told you?
Who told you? Who told you that we will not have a presidential candidate? Linda Mwananchi is going to have a presidential candidate.
Is Linda Mwananchi a political party, or is it going to form a political party?
It's a movement. And inside that movement, we have leaders from all political parties. We have Wiper leaders, even elected members of parliament from Wiper. We have ODM elected members of parliament. We have Jubilee representatives there. We have young people like myself that do not belong to any party. I specifically resigned from Jubilee party so that I can be able to support leaders that align with my beliefs and align with the ideologies I align with, so that I am not caged within a party structure. And the majority of our supporters are actually not ODM members. They are young people who have politically woken up and want to align and have found a home in Linda Mwananchi. And so this is a movement that is gearing up and preparing and mobilizing all members and people and Kenyans and young people that understand they need to liberate this country from the current regime that has continuously oppressed us and have shown us they do not have any agenda for Kenyans at the table. So it's a culmination of very many political parties, including new parties that are coming up, like the People Renaissance Party, which has been championed by one of the principals who sits at the Linda Mwananchi team, and so forth. Yes,
people know what it is that they want. The call has been for the longest time, well, don't tell us what you don't want, but tell us what it is that you do want, so that we know where the country is going. And so do the folks who are, we're saying, bring in new leadership. Is everybody on the same mind, aware of what's going on?
Yes, and in all our rallies before we do, we have a lot of aspirants that have gravitated and are part of the Linda Mwananchi team, and most of them, 80% of them, are young people, fresh blood, coming to this for the first time. Some have historical, background and have interacted politically and so forth. And our principals are always asking us, because you're telling us to go for these seats. Who's going to occupy these other seats? Are you putting yourself up to be elected, and are you organizing yourself politically for you to actually take up these seats? Because when we leave, we are going to leave a vacuum in Senate, in Bunge, and so forth, because we have very many leaders upscaling, going for governor seats, going for senator seats, and so who is going to occupy these other seats? And so these are conversations that we are having with our Linda Mwananchi Aspirants Forum. They're always having meetings at least once in 2 weeks to organize, identify themselves, plan how they're going to support each other. They even have their own separate activities. Maybe some may not have reached in the mainstream media, but they do. When we were having the Tukokadi, campaign for 1 month, our aspirants from the Linda Mwananchi were having theirs. In Westlands, we had Alex Matere. In Dagoretti North, we had Mokaya, and so forth. And we are even getting into spaces where we're having 2 or 3 aspirants going for the same seats. And so our conversations are being had.
So these are within the movement, but they still belong to different political parties.
Yes.
So, for example, we're not saying that ODM has been left by Edwin Sifuna and others. So you can be a member of a political party, but you're still a member of the movement because there is something, that like-mindedness that everybody then is sharing.
Yes. And the beauty about being part of the Linda Mwananchi, this is actually the only movement I feel that accommodates young people on the table. And I know we've had all these comments that women are not part of it, but I attend this meeting with these principles. I sit in some of these meetings to give strategies, matters, communication, and PR, content creation, because our movement is very well driven on social media. That is our turf. That is our ground. The information we have ensured we have captured, because at the end of the day, there's nothing the team from the government side can actually debate us on. Matters ideologies, they can't win. Matters of what they have delivered, they don't have anything they can show on the table. The only thing that they can organize against us is goons. And at least that we even now have a strategy. 1 goon, 10 people. So we have been able to counter that, neutralize that. And Kisumu has proven that no amount of goons is going to be sent our way that we're not going to deal with. I'm going to commend the police service, because they got to a point in Kisumu where they just observed. They were like, okay, we're not going to interfere, we're not going to support any side. You maneuver your way.
As it should be.
As it should be. Leave us. If they've organized goons, let us just deal with those goons. You don't interfere and don't take a side. Just ensure there is order and there is peace and people are not killing each other. And they did that in Kisumu, and I felt I should have said that, because I saw how much they tried, and they really just ensured that everybody was able to, participate and ensure that.
And Abbie, as this really happens, and you see the degree of anticipation, the kind of hope, the kind of gravity that these young people are coming up with. One thing that I keep asking myself is a so what question. We have heard you people telling us this is that, sisi ndio Sifuna, mimi ndio Sifuna, who told you? Then what? Where is the message? What is this thing that Linda Mwananchi as a movement is seeking to not just mobilize around, but is seeking to use as a ramifying message of hope? You remember, like Baba used to say, Tuesday, and so everyone is looking forward to that Tuesday. When he says, sisi tutakuwa na mkongamano, people are looking forward to that day. That thing is coming. So whatever you do, you are looking forward to listening to what Baba is going to say. Where is this message, particularly from the different areas that you're going around? Where is this message of hope? I struggle to pick it up.
I think you struggle because there's a way historically, politically, messaging politically has been anchored. For us, it's different. When we went to Nakuru, there was a specific message we had for the people of Nakuru. 2 key agendas and issues that touch on the people of Nakuru. I'm from there because I helped formulate the messaging for our principles. Was one, what happened in terms of extrajudicial killings in Nakuru, and a key case was the Brian Odhiambo case. That hits very core to the people of Nakuru. Till date, it's very, very fundamental for us. And the messaging around that was, we are going to form a government that allows you to earn a living, even as a fisherman, and not be worried about being dragged from your house by the police officers and being killed, and them saying, same case as Albert Ojwang, alijigongesha kwa ukuta za cells. We are living in the reality where when Edwin Sifuna says, can I just promise you I will not kill your children, we want that, because the right to life is no longer guaranteed by this current government. And the legitimacy of any government is how they can protect lives. We are not trying to complicate messaging. We're just trying to make it as simple as it can be, because the problem that we have as a country right now is a software problem, and you need to go back to the preamble of the Constitution. And Edwin Sifuna has been very clear about this. But why we are getting lost is because we have geared away from the fabric of who we are as Kenyans in terms of the Constitution. We no longer recognizes it when he throws it onto our face.
Right.
We no longer do.
Kenyans, are you saying Kenyans are used to the complicated now? Used to, I'm going to wrap it up in a broad-based, I'll say something about an ADCO, I'll put you at Bomas for 6 weeks, this will. Meanwhile, Kenyans are saying, "Don't kill us.
Don't kill us.
Feed us.
Feed us.
Let us send our children to school. Let us go to hospital and get medical care." That is what
simple
is
as that. And if you look at our principles, Kibagendi, very keen on health. Do we have a member of parliament that has fought for healthcare like Kibagendi? Literally, he was chased out of Bunge because of exposing what is happening in Sha, going at it with Aden Duale, literally wanting to fight him physically because healthcare is not working. Education, Clive Gisairo is a guy who has demystified education into the simplest terms in all our rallies. Education is very key to him. Edwin Sifuna, we all know him, rule of law, democracy, let people thrive within the confines of the constitution. We need to simplify messaging, gearing up to the next election, because the more complex we make it, the more we are gearing away from what we should ideally be doing as Kenyans. And so our messaging is as clear as that. Even as we gear towards coming up with our manifesto and so forth, it's going to be as simple as that. Because what this government has done is complicated so much and taken us away from the basic rights that we should be, enjoying as Kenyans. And it is so sad that we now have to go back to right to life. I mean, very, very sad.
Everything that you talk about, like many would say, you talk about the software, and one would say the software and hardware that we do need is, we have it. It's the Constitution of the Republic. Because many say, rather, the fact is, we find ourselves where we are today as a country because we've chosen to look the other way, not to go back and look at what the Constitution is saying, Because here we're talking about if we are to borrow debt, right? It's for what and what's the process of us getting that debt and to do what? It is well stipulated in the Constitution on what that ought to do. We don't do that.
Yes, we don't do that,
We give promises in Nithi Bridge 6 times, Nothing much about it. So where do we place someone who keeps on speaking one thing and doing the other, and read that in the Constitution, chapter 6 on ethics, and you standing up and protecting that office? It is the Constitution that is there. So are we saying then that the Linda Mwananchi movement then is coming to reassure Kenyans that Katiba tuko nayo, and this is what we will play by?
Yes. And I think that has been so clear, and the clarity that Edwin Sifuna has. Because I remember when we did the Busia and we did the Kitengela, he did a whole media tour and re-emphasized on that. And I hope one day you guys can host him so that he can speak it now that he's on another level.
Tomorrow.
The clarity that he has, even with who he has been as a senator, he has implemented the rule of law. That is why for him, roughing up the Samburu governor was not a matter of that I'm disrespecting you. It's you have literally, the Auditor General's report speaks about how you have misappropriated funds in Samburu. And he was standing there as a representative and as a senator who should care about how counties are using funds. And that is who the consistency, when people say Sisi ndio Sifuna, it's the ideology that of who he has been. Is that on June 25th, when members of parliament were trying to run through ambulances and hide behind I don't know where to get out of parliament, he was outside there telling the police, hii ni nyumba ya watu, waitikisheni waingie. It is him saying, even if my boss, we have signed the 10 points agenda with this government, they have gone against it because Albert Ojwang has died. And so it is null and void. It is him, even when Baba was alive, still saying these things. And even until his death, still being consistent in saying, no, this government has gone against the very mere fabric of what we agreed upon, and so we can't support it. And I'm not going to be forced to do it. It's us being threatened constantly. And we go through it and still consistently going out and meeting people and having conversations on county levels, understanding their issues. Absolutely. In Kisumu, the messaging was very different. Babu Owino, that was Babu Owino mobilization. And even if you listen to his speech, he spoke to young people and told them, if you're not on the table, break it. He knows, he's experienced it in ODM. He's had to break the table and form his own table with the Linda Mwananchi team. And it's them also implementing what they preach. It's ensuring that even on this team of Linda Mwananchi, young people are there.
But Abbie, this breaking, is the breaking of a table, is it a figure of speech, or is it a real, like taking it to the table and banging it? Because I think that if you look at opportunities that are out there for the youth, there are many, many ways in which young people can actually come forward. And you are a living example. I met you many years ago when you were just seated at the back of the room there. And today, Abbie is a front face. You are a figure that is ramifying political, and tendons in the country. So what are the spaces for breaking this table? Because you know, when Babu says break the table, you can imagine, we are walking in and breaking the door, breaking the gate and going for the table and breaking it. As Linda Mwananchi, what are these open spaces where youth can actually come and quote unquote break this table and plug in?
I think when
progressively and positively.
I think when Babu says break the table, he's talking to young people across all divides. Even in the corporate world, I have served in the real estate sector, and I had to break a few tables to emerge and become somebody who is hard, and also form my own tables that people can come and engage from my own table. It is saying that this is a season where young people, wherever you are in the energy sector, transport sector, you have ideas, you have reforms to change that sector. You have to find a way that you're being heard. It means mobilizing, strategically just being, in positions where you can align with people that understand your ideology in that same sector, forming a separate group to ensure your voice is being heard, and being insightful and defiant so that you can be heard.
Yeah.
Okay. Because young people have always been told that, and we've been in these spaces. You are told, no, we've agreed this, you implement. Yeah. But we have go to a point as young people, we are the ones saying, no, we have formulated this is what we are implementing.
Yeah.
Because young people, this is their season. And if somebody misses it, even in elective positions, if somebody wants to vie, 2027 is the season to vie. This is the season where you can actually take that seat that you wanted to do and change it from inside there.
And so fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know which one you choose, the system on which Kenya operates is that you, in order to bring about new leadership, in order to institute any kind of change, you must vote. You must go through an election process. You must go through the IEBC, which is what is constitutionally formed. But the hope withers when then you have questionable activities by a body that is meant to be independent, that would then give the direction on how certain things are going to be. IBC is still telling us today about how they need to market an election. Market.
Yeah. Imagine.
We could have words about that, and it could take us maybe another 4 hours of a conversation. But if we have a body who's still telling us that they need to market what? Their existence, market the fact that people should register to vote, should go to the polls. By now, the registration conversation is in the hearts and minds of everybody. I mean, it's all over. I mean, again, thanks to folks like Ademba, who's come out and says, you guys, this is actually something that you can do.
Yeah.
Now, I started by saying, fortunately, unfortunately, you must go through that process. Now, that is the thing that is going to activate this feeling, this decision that you make. How, Zuena, do we make the connection between Kitengela, Bungoma, Vihiga, Nakuru, Mombasa, Kisumu? That power, that energy, whereby it's clear what you're saying, that people are seeking change. People just want it simplified and say, let me not survive, but let me thrive in Kenya.
In Kenya,
How do you take that with this mandatory thing of registering and then voting? And beyond that, understanding this is your MCA. This fella almost slept on the road.
Yeah.
I've even forgotten the name of the place. Matungulu.
Yes.
This morning.
Yes.
And it was clear that if representation was taking place at the very basic level, his car would not be swimming.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So there's that atmosphere. It's charged, it's exciting, it's a wind that's blowing. But how do you take it and funnel it to whereby we are saying your ward representative in Matungulu needs to then have been able to take this thing to the next level, and that's the person that you want to vote in. It's not just being in a stadium or at the grounds and then at the end of the day everybody goes home. How do you translate it? Because this is where the rubber meets the road. How do you translate that? Take that inertia and put it in a thing that will finally start to make a difference. How do you do that?
I think maybe what is usually not in the public eye is the preparations we do before our rallies. So there's an advanced team that goes, myself included, and everybody is designated to meet a specific group. I specifically meet TikTok creatives for a reason, because TikTok has become a very powerful tool of civic education. And I meet young people. And we sit in forums and we educate them and have conversations around how they should now center their civic education towards what is the role of an MCA, what is the role of an MP, what is the role of a senator, what is the role of a governor. And you'd be surprised, these young people on this grassroots level are so aware. You get there and they say, huyu MCA yetu kwanza lazima aende. Tumesha identify mwenye ataingia kwa sababu hajafanya hivi na. So it's not even that exhausting to start from scratch. They know it. I think there's an awakening that happened in June 25th that made young people now start looking. They trickled down the accountability processes. We met creatives in Vihiga County. There were 20 of them. And they were already telling us, as we already have a lineup, I shared that video on social media, and they were telling us the MPs that first and foremost voted yes for the finance bill. You know that is their marking scheme kwanza. They're like, kwanza hao tunatoa, Zuena hao tumesha agree tunatoa, na kuna hawa vijana wamejipatiana na tunataka tuwapatiwe platform waongee kwa rally. And so what these young people are doing, they are already aligning and strategically organizing themselves and doing a lot of civic education. And they're facing a lot of challenges. Like in Vihiga, they're telling us their parents are the ones who decide where a family should vote. But they've decided what we're going to do. We're not going to argue with our parents because it's becoming toxic and it's very exhausting. We've agreed to just concentrate on young people. We'll ensure as many young people as we can in Vihiga understand who we need to vote for on MP seats, MP and so forth, and how we need to do it. And ikikuwa mbaya, tuta make sure tu wazazi wetu hata show up kuvote. It is as serious as that. But I have heard it from the ground itself. Wow. And so having these meetings prior to our rallies, because if we're having a rally on Saturday, on Sunday, there's a team already on the ground on Tuesday. And we incorporate civil society as well. Like in Nakuru, I worked with tribeless youth by a lady called Shiko Keheka. I was there 4 days before having conversations with them because they participated a lot in the June 25th Maandamano. So you have to bring them because there's a voice they have that is more important than us politicians. Because you know me, I'm going there for tunaleta presidential candidate. Shiko will tell me, Abbie, relax kwanza. You know, when you guys come and do your rallies and go, there are things we deal with. And this is how we need to. So having that roundtable conversation and a panel of people that are set apart from being politicians is really helping us have conversations on the ground level. Because those ones need one-on-one conversations, not necessarily rally-based. And then now the rally comes and reinforces the message. And then also fonting these aspirants that we have identified as people that could lead and giving them a platform to meet these leaders, be mentored, have even meetings with them in Nairobi and present themselves in the rallies is also helping. They are not perfect, these young leaders. You know, like you give somebody, like my first time I was given a mic, I panicked. All I did was sing a song, Yote Yawezekana Bila Ruto. I was so panicked. I had like 10 points I needed to play. You know, later I was like, sikusema ile. But with time, you know, you sit with these leaders, they tell you, no, Abbie, you have to have 3 key messaging. Don't overdo it. In each rally, you have to have one messaging that you say constantly and people get it. And so it's also a mentorship program that is happening as we move along, that is ensuring that even as we are identifying these young aspirants, they are understanding what role they are about to play in this movement, what they're supposed to do. And the good thing is these are people that align with their ideology. So they're not coming in green. They're like, tuko hapa kwa sababu Sifuna ana protecting watu na sheria.
Right.
So we're not starting from scratch.
And it's not just going and visiting different parts of the country. It's actually going to see and hearing to understand the impact of what a movement or what a change, because that's what it is, isn't it? It's a move from the ordinary. So now if that's the case, the questions are abounding here. But there's certain parts of the country, of course, yet to be visited and hear. 2 of those big ones. Number 1 is the northern part of the country. And tell us about what, that looks like already. And then tell us about President William Ruto's backyard.
Yes. Funny enough, the people in our Gishu are calling us a lot. A lot. You'd be so surprised. Oh. There are very strong opposition voices in the backyard of the president. Some are silenced because it is happening. And I know this may not come into the public eye. But we've had creators that have been very vocal about this regime and they were kidnapped and silenced. And they will message you and say, I cannot say it publicly, but sisi tuko one time Abbie. Na lazima mutakuja Rift Valley. One of our biggest opposition leader, Alfred Keter, is an ally of Linda Mwananchi. And he's always amplifying our messaging. And he's going to host us in Rift Valley very soon. And we're going to go there. If we were able to hold our rally in Kisumu, I do not think there's any part of this country we will not enter. At this time and point, we have already demonstrated to the government, and this is a message we are giving them. We are not even afraid of that death itself. There's nothing you can do to us you haven't done. I mean, if I am not struggling with the economy and taking back my children to school, which we are doing this week, some of us don't even know where we're going to get school fees, then just kill me. If you want to kill me, at least by there, many shortenia suffering. Imefika hapo. We are not scared of death, but we must save this country. There's no way we are struggling. Unaenda kwa rally mtu anakuomba tu 20 bob. 20 bob. Do you know how sad and depressing that is? Na amekuja na amesema mtusaidie kwa sababu tunakufa njaa.
And that's just to eat something.
And just to eat something. So for us, where it has come, the clarion call is so deep. we're going to visit everywhere, northeastern counties and even the backyard, because even them, they are saying it's just
Mount
a few.
Kenya.
And even Mount Kenya, Mount Kenya tunaenda. It's just a few of the president cronies that are touching money. It's not the whole community. It's not the whole Kalenjin community, and most of them are suffering. They are going through what we are going through. They may not speak it, but they are, and they are seeing this movement and this revolution and this call to liberate this country, and they're not seeing it as an attack to their tribes person. No, that is what is spread by the few leaders, like Cheralgei and Sudi, and we understand they are eating. They need to protect where they are eating. We don't even blame them, but we are coming to their counties and we're going to engage the Wananchi of those counties.
Okay. Abbie, because I think time is not on our side, but briefly, now we look at these backyards that you're talking about. This is a stronghold for that's how politics has been played for a very long time. But you're seeing a shift from that, because then the young people are saying, we're no longer leaders of tomorrow, we are leaders of today. We are here to stay, and this is our agenda, you know. So even as you push for that, there is also the fear of there are those who will be hired to come and interfere with the same. So it is not about what strategy are you applying, but what message then are we sending across the country to ensure that come listen to us, agree with us, disagree with us, but let us do our thing, and you get an opportunity to play your part when the time calls. How are we going about it to get away from the politics of old days, where this is our backyard, ukikuja tutakufukuza because you do not support our guy? Are we seeing a departure from that from the young people?
I think we are, because the young people are the ones coming up and saying, karibuni kwetu, come and engage us, and this is our home, and we'll ensure you have your meetings, because they're the ones that show up and get rid of those goons. And I love that freshness and that clarion call by the young people, and they're saying, whether on, even as much as I come from this specific tribe, I want to listen to you, because I align with your ideologies and you resonate with me as a young person, because Linda Mwananchi is very youthful and led, and being led by somebody like Senior, His Excellency Governor James Orengo, guiding us, somebody who's actually seen the most hate in this country by aligning with Baba. There is no hate James Orengo can see that he hasn't seen as a very senior Luo leader, having been castigated alongside his former friend and brother. And so having a leadership that is very bold and has seen death up close also helps, because they tell us there's nothing that we fear now. We fear now, and you guys have to plug into our strength and boldness
and go with that. And that is what is empowering people across the country to welcome us into their counties and to engage us. Thank you for being here this morning and
so
being able to share some of these insights. I mean, call it what you want to call it, but it seems like it's what people want to hear, and not just hear, but be a part of. Let's see what happens. Keep the faith, as we say. Abbie Zuena is with the Linda Mwananchi team, has been here telling us about, okay, this is what it is and this is what the plans are for the future. It's all wait and see. Asante sana. Good morning.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.